I'm buying the dip. You shouldn't buy a dip in a bear market. You should short it until bottom and then buy the bottom. No one knows when we're at a bottom. Better to get a reasonable discount hodl and ensure that I'm hodling during the largest growth days of the year. It's not a discount if it's gonna be half the price you bought next week. It absolutely is a discount if it's gonna be 100x the price I bought in 5 years.
What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. So how are you doing? It's been quite some time. I didn't have a chance to make a video yesterday. Feels like a freaking eternity. But we're back here again. It's Monday, back on the grind. If we have a look at what's going on, this morning I actually woke up. There was a lot more green in the market, and now it's starting to turn a little bit more red. We fell down $2 billion since I woke up. Now we're at 112 with a $3,500 Bitcoin. XRP around 30 cents, and freaking Ethereum still taking that beating down to $93. So if we have a look at these charts that we've been looking at, we have a very, very weak support right here at around that $3,200 mark. And if we fall any lower, then we're kind of getting back into this territory right here around that $2,500 mark for the day, right? Now, before we move on, if we look at the biggest gainers of the day, we have DEX, MadeSafe Coin, Mithril, Loom Network, EOS, Stratus, Eternity, Golem, and Cash, all up for the day. But guys, it's Monday. It's Monday. Let's start off with a crazy outlandish prediction. Why not, right? Everybody loves a crazy prediction. So this time we have Charlie Lee, you know, the creator of Litecoin. Well, we have his brother, Bobby Lee. Okay, he's also the co-founder of BTCC. So let's see what his prediction is. Well, he says, and you can see right here from the tweet, he says, if history repeats itself perfectly, then the current bear market for Bitcoin would bottom out at $2,500 next month. And then the next rally would start in late 2020, peak out in December 2021 at $3,333, and then crash back down to $41,000 in January 2023. Something like that. Now, obviously, you have to take all of these predictions with a grain of salt, but let's not forget the time his brother called the top and sold all of his Litecoin. So I might actually listen to these two guys when they speak from now on. So I just want to point out, though, one thing. If he's calling for a $2,500 low, and then he's calling for a $333,000 high, well, just by simply crossing the $250,000 point would literally make it a 100x from the low. So I just want to point that out. That's pretty incredible. So he also went on to explain how he was able to come up with this ambitious call, referencing his expectation that the market cap of Bitcoin will eventually surpass gold in time. So as a result, Bitcoin's classification as the second coming of gold, right? So this basically would put it at a $7 trillion market cap, because currently that's what gold is at. And if that was the case, well, then you'd have a $333,000 Bitcoin. But you know what? Everyone's always talking about going to the moon, but nobody ever asked the moon how he's doing. Not fair. He's still waiting to be visited by the crypto community. Okay, just kidding. But that being said, guys, it is devastating. It is serious. As we can see right here, you know, this video has been getting a lot of views going around the internet. This is from Digital Gold. Basically, they had to close down their mining farm. I'm not 100% too sure about the history of these guys. I think he sort of, and correct me if I'm wrong, would build the mining rigs and then sort of lease them out to people. Well, it looks like one of the biggest guys shut down, said he's done, so they can't take care of it. So that's a problem. But another thing, too, is it's also allocation of capital, you know? I mean, for example, we've seen ICOs completely fail miserably, but we've also seen other projects out there that are taking just as big of a hit in the market that are down 90+% on their projects, and they're still doing just fine. So it really comes down to managing those resources properly. Now, I do want to move on and talk about this. Now, Ron Paul, okay, he is in the news. So you have former presidential candidate Ron Paul published an article titled "Trump is Right, the Fed is Crazy," pointing out the immediate detaxation of cryptocurrencies and precious metals in the U.S. So you could go on to read this. We kind of spoke about this I think it was a couple weeks ago, but he basically stands by his belief that the Federal Reserve has continued to that the Federal Reserve's influence will only bring financial ruin. He wrote, "It is likely that the next Fed-created recession will come sooner rather than later. This could be the major catastrophe that leads to the end of fiat currency. To prevent this, he has proposed that Congress pass the Audit the Fed bill, which will hopefully bring more transparency and shed some light on some of the Fed's actions." Additionally, he also said that government should not place arbitrary limitations on an alternative tender. So according to him, this means allowing the use of other currencies and forms of payments. He also proposed the exemption of all transactions in precious metals and cryptocurrencies from capital gains taxes and other taxes as well. Now, is this gonna get put through? Is this how it's gonna end? We don't know, but he seems to think that this would be a better decision. Now, you do have Bitcoin.com coming out. Now, I just wanna let you guys know, if you're not familiar, Bitcoin.com is actually owned by, you know, the Bitcoin Cash camp, okay, Roger Ver and all those guys. But anyway, they say the store of value narrative promoted by Bitcoin maximalists look a lot more ridiculous now that Bitcoin is down nearly 80% year to date. It was irresponsible to ever promote Bitcoin as a store of value. Bitcoin is peer-to-peer cash, not a get-rich-quick scheme. Well, I do agree that it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. However, when you talk about a store of value, let's just look at it historically. Now, this is actually from Wikipedia. And you could see right here, March 2010, Bitcoin was trading at 0.003 cents. So this was on bitcoinmarket.com, which was the first exchange that ever traded Bitcoin. However, it's recently been closed. So if you want to look at more exchanges that grew over time, you can take this when Bitcoin was 8 cents. Or how about back in February of 2011 when Bitcoin was $1? This is when it took its parity with the US dollar, okay? So if this is the case, and we're currently sitting at a $3,547 Bitcoin in 10 years, and 10 years ago, you know, Bitcoin, or not 10 years ago, let's go back to just 8 years ago, Bitcoin was 8 cents. I'd say that's a pretty good store of value. I mean, to be completely honest with you, why don't we talk about the dollar for a second? So check this tweet out. So she says, here's a currency that's lost about all of its value. It's centrally controlled by an entity that by law cannot be audited and has an unlimited supply. If this was a cryptocurrency, it would be labeled a scam and shut down by the government. Okay? So I just wanted to point that out, guys, as well. And also, let's talk about these guys that had called this way back in the day. In fact, this guy, DaVinci J15 or whatever his name is, yeah. So he had made this video way back in June 1st of 2011, and he talks about the power of Bitcoin. And this is a channel that was devoted to just precious metals and stuff like that. But like, listen to some of the things he says real quick. I mean, I'm not going to play the whole video, but...
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a lot of central authorities that have been cheating us over the past 100 years. Let's think about some of them. United States government? The Commodities Exchange? I mean, come on, dogs. This is why I'm supporting Bitcoins. There is no central authority, right? You don't have to worry about trusting someone with your Bitcoins, right? Yes, this is the money, same goal, but this new Bitcoin currency allows us to operate globally in a fast and efficient manner. So we can operate locally with our silver and globally with Bitcoins.
So anyway, it's hilarious because you come down here and you read some of these comments and it's just like, they did not age well. 1 cent today, haha, scam, Ponzi scheme, LOL, the government has a law in books to name you, blah, 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 blah. Like, I mean, just some of these comments, I mean, they just basically trash this guy. And it's just hilarious to think of how well it actually is doing in the future. Not to mention, you know, we could talk about all these price predictions and what we saw, and people say, oh, no, this time it's different. It's different this time. Past performance doesn't indicate future performance, right? Well, if that's the case, then why are we seeing all of this interest from institutions? Why are we seeing all of these tools being created to help make it more accessible for people? Binance has literally come out with multiple accounts to cater to institutional investors. Coinbase quietly opened its over-the-counter trading desk last week where high net worth individuals can purchase large amount of Bitcoins. And also crypto exchange Poloniex has also opened its trading services for institutional clients. And guys, if you have not seen this video yet, right here, the Great Crypto Conspiracy, I don't know where you've been, but you need to watch this video, guys. Don't leave right now. I got a little more to talk about, but when I'll put this in the links below. You have to read this. All these guys fighting Bitcoin, saying it's going to zero, calling it, tulip bulb mania. Meanwhile, they're setting things up in the background. They're buying the dip when no one's looking. They're accumulating over the counter. So you can't deny the actions of these individuals. You can speculate all you want. You can call it a conspiracy. You could say it's going to zero, but it's happening, and we have proof. So I will drop that below in the description, guys, as well. But before we get on, hold on, guys, we have something, gotta tell you, warning, Telegram virus. So this was actually brought to my attention by some of the members of my Crypto Zombies Telegram group. If you guys haven't joined the Telegram group, it's free, it's really fun, guys. We have some great conversations, but they're saying that there's some reports about a virus that's going around on Telegram, and it says crypto users that is hacking 2FA through API routing. So everyone turn off downloads in Telegram settings, even on mobile. Go to settings, data, storage, disable auto downloads. Now, some people were saying that this came from the Siren Labs Telegram chat. I cannot prove or deny that. I have no idea where it came from, but it is out. So just be careful, guys. This may affect you. Now, moving on, getting back, what were we talking about? Yes, adoption. So look at what is happening around us for a space that's just dying, and it's over and it's going to zero. But now you have the new HTC Exodus is apparently going fully crypto. It will come preloaded with basic attention tokens browser, Brave browser being the default browser when you basically take the phone out of the package. Each HTC Exodus 1 is also a node on HTC's blockchain network. It also has a variety of options that allow users to secretly store and trade cryptocurrencies. The phone will support Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, ERC-721 Ethereum tokens. Now, this is interesting. It's not going to come supporting all of ERC-20 tokens, which I think might be an issue due to the fact that there is that concern over, whether or not they're securities or not. But they are going to have ERC-721, so this will be really awesome for collectibles as well. Now, I want to talk about something. Now, apparently there's a video that's been going around that demonstrates Bitcoin Cash SV having a double spending issue. So if you come down here, it says in a multi-phase test, including a video demonstration, which actually I have the video, which I'll post in the description below. It says that the user known as Ryzu succeeded in double spending Bitcoin SV tokens in a zero conf transaction, demonstrating the network's vulnerability to attack and disproving major proponent Craig Wright's claims in reference to Bitcoin Cash that only miners could do so. He says, I've done many double spendings on the Bitcoin SV network. So, as a part of the investigation, Ryzu also reported signs that the Bitcoin SV network was very centralized. After a few mined blocks, he discovered that the transactions were being mined by those that were sent almost always to the same nodes over and over again. So out of a total of 450 nodes, he concluded that about just 4 control 75% of the network's total hash rate. And if you guys want to see the actual video itself right here, here's the example. Now, of course, you have to wait for the block, so you have to skip all the way to the end. And then when you go here, it says that the transaction mysteriously disappears. So this was the concern about raising the megabytes without actually addressing the software and other issues. So that is something you may want to be concerned if you're holding BSV right now. Speaking of Bitcoin Cash, ABCD, EFG, BCH, JK, I don't know. Anyway, Bitcoin Cash is trading on Gemini's platform. So if you're interested, you can figure out which one that is and go check it out. Now, moving on, we have Tron founder Justin Sun once again throwing jabs at other projects. This time it's Ethereum and EOS again. So this was on his Twitter, and he basically said Tron will build a fund to rescue ETH and EOS developers from the collapse of their platform as long as those developers migrate their dApps to Tron. So there you go, throwing more shade again. Now, I mean, Tron, they did take over the BitTorrent in July, and they claim that they've made significant progress toward their goal of building out their infrastructure for a thoroughly decentralized internet. We also see that they're trying to go private with the ZK Snarks integration and all that. Now, Justin Sun has been involved in a bunch of recent, controversy over his very aggressive self-promotion after he hinted at a partnership with Chinese internet giant Baidu, only for it to merge shortly thereafter that it was nothing more than a cloud computing service agreement. But, he has been known to make announcements of announcements of announcements. But that being said, as opposed to some of these other projects that actually raised a lot of capital and potentially squandered it, I don't know where. I don't know what they did with it. Maybe they're buying yachts and going on vacations. I have no idea. But I do know that even though Tron has seen a massive pullback from its all-time high, they did use and secure those funds to actually help progress and maintain and grow the ecosystem for Tron. So I have to say that I will give them that, okay? So that being said, moving on, I want to talk about American Express has recently praised Ripple for cross-border payments. So according to a top American Express representative, Ripple has the potential to revolutionize cross-border transactions globally. So they say, we did a test partnering with Santander locally and with Ripple just to do a cross-border transaction. And in a matter of seconds through this test, our clients were able to transfer funds in a very transparent and seamless way from one part of the world to the other. We also have Neo announcing that it is looking to decentralize itself. Now we know Neo is quite decentralized. They only have 7 nodes and most of them are run by Neo themselves. So basically they currently run 5 of the 7 on the system, but now they're opening their process to applicants who wish to run the other nodes. So basically you have at the moment 5 of the 7 by Neo. The remaining are run by Dutch telecom company KPN and Neo-focused development company City of Zion. Now, we also have TenX co-founder being linked to a pyramid scheme. However, this actually isn't new news if you've been following the space. This has already come out before. We already know that he's been involved in this, and, it was something he did in his past, and he's not really too, happy about. He says he learned his lesson, obviously, as you can see according to here. But all that being aside, it's been 10 months and we still don't have a TenX card that we can use. Ever since they lost their partnership with Wavecrest, people have just sort of been waiting, sitting around for something to happen. And the other thing too that I wanted to point out was they kind of thought that this was a little bit of false advertising back in the day when they had listed Vitalik Buterin as being an advisor to TenX, but he really wasn't. So basically they said, well, he was a part of Fembushi, who was an investor of TenX, but they later removed his picture. So that's kind of what's going on with that. I mean, the pyramid scheme thing is not really, new news. However, I do think that people are definitely waiting for this product to come out. You know what I'm saying? So, that being said, moving on, guys, talking about a product that, is already out. We have Monarch Wallet. Now, they have their app out. You can already use it. They've also announced that they're going to be including their fiat onboarding and offboarding by the end of this year. So that's incredibly soon considering we only have just a few weeks left. So by the end of this month, Monarch Wallet is going to be debuting their fiat pairings in the app, allowing wallet users to buy and sell cryptocurrencies using a debit card or bank account directly. Now, the reason that this is so cool compared to, for example, Coinbase is that really no wallets out there give users control of both their private keys and also allow them to buy and sell cryptocurrencies directly using fiat. So not only is this rolling out, but they also have Monarch Pay, which is going to be a payment solution to make it easier to pay for goods and services. So basically what will happen is when you use this, you would pay for it using, crypto, but the merchant would receive the fiat directly, okay? So this is really cool moving forward, guys. Definitely keep a look on this space. And this is the thing. Projects are just putting their heads down. They're moving forward. It's not like they're giving up. I mean, 0x Blockchain Project has launched Instant, right? So this is a modular software library that allows users to buy digital tokens from within a dApp. So Instant is entirely open source and can be customized as per the requests of each dApp or requirements of the dApp. And developers integrating the service into their applications can also optionally earn affiliate fees up to 5% on every transaction as well. Also, this is pretty crazy news. So crypto wallet maker Ledger is partnering with Neufund to create security token platforms. So in the latest partnership, security token and issuance platform Neufund and Ledger will enable users to manage real-world assets on the blockchain while creating the safest user experience for investors. It aims to do so by adding ERC20 integration to Ledger's new desktop application, Ledger Live, allowing users to manage any tokens issued by using Neufund's protocols protocols and platforms. So these guys are already looking forward to the day when, you know, we eventually do have these security tokens, which are probably going to be a pretty big thing moving forward between stable coins and security tokens. Those are probably going to be some of the bigger themes of 2019, guys. And that being said, if you're still skeptical, sometimes it's good to just listen to the OGs. So I was watching this interview with Trace Mayer over at Portfolio Wealth Group. Now, this is a guy that's been buying Bitcoin since $1. He's very, very well versed in Cambrian and Austrian, you know, economics. You know, obviously we know which side he probably takes. So that being said, you know, I think you guys should have a look at this, okay? It's a 40-minute video, but actually Trace Mayer talks a little slower, unlike me. I'm like a super fast talker. So if you actually put this video at like double speed, you can still pretty much, you know, hear what he's saying, you know, and you can hear, just for example, some of the things they go into, you know, it's
those
like
who calculate correctly have gains, and those who calculate incorrectly have losses. And that's just, and Bitcoin is just going to force this type of reckoning on the world, because we have huge amounts of misallocated capital, governmental interference, illegal tender laws. I mean, the world reserve settlement currency and the entire fiat system with euros and yens and dollars, it is all built on a complete illusion. Right. Like I write about in my book. I mean, it doesn't even have a definition. It doesn't collapse. It just evaporates into nothing. Just poof, bye-bye goes the Ponzi scam, you know, with Social Security and pension guaranteed benefit corporate.
So I'm not gonna get into it right now. Obviously, we could go on forever, guys, but you really should watch this video. It's full of a lot of nuggets. I think you'll get I think you should watch it. That's all I'm saying, okay? So check it out, see what he's talking about. You know, realize that Bitcoin really is like one of the best, if not the best forms of you know, whatever you want to call it. Okay, it's not a currency, it's a crappy store of value, but it's sound, okay? It's on the blockchain, it's immutable, it's censorship resistant, okay? There's so many things about it, but I'm not going to bug you guys. You guys watch the video. It's Monday. I know you got places to be. That being said, I do want to remind you guys, you know, I don't want to be a pain, but there's 10 days left to get in if you guys want the Coldlar Pro 3 giveaway. This is a cold storage wallet. We're giving away 2 of these from the Blockchain Brief newsletter. They're about $620 a piece. You can get them absolutely free. All you got to do is just enter. It's really simple, guys. So that being said, if you want Blockchain Brief, that's out. You can get that over there. And that's it for today, guys. It's Monday. We are getting ready for another week. We're getting set up. Could we potentially test that $2,500 mark? It's possible, guys. But that being said, the future of Bitcoin is bright. I think you and I both know that. And if this is your first time coming to the Crypto Zombie channel and you enjoy daily news updates literally every single day, completely for free, then definitely get subscribed and say what up. You know, I love reading your comments. I love when you guys go in the Telegram chat and we just hang out, good times. And yeah, everyone that's been just liking, subscribing, commenting, just stopping by. Freaking love you. You're the best. That being said, my name is K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto and peace out.